Good day. Welcome to another episode of the Raw Report. I'm your host, Robert Bob TV Brown. How you doing today? Well, your boy Al Sharpton has been on a roll. Big Al Sharpton, little Al Sharpton, it doesn't matter. He actually had his National Action Network. By the way, I'm feeling better. My eyes a little bit better. Anyway, let's get into the story. Al Sharpton has his National Action Network convention, and he has all the politicians to come out to sort of kiss the ring, as if his fist and the ring on his hand is the key to getting the vote of the black community. Al Sharpton do not represent the black community, probably the older black community, but the black community under 45 and under, you get a better chance with Louis Farrakhan. If you want to win the black vote, go to Louis Farrakhan. Don't go to Al Sharpton, man. But nevertheless, he went around and had the people come to his event to kiss ring, so to speak. But I consider it more of a kiss your behind club because there's audio that's been leaked of him talking to all the presidential candidates, telling them that if they want the black vote, they got to kiss his behind. Watch this.
All right, then. You shouldn't have that sour puss on your face. You should be very willing to kiss my ass. I can see that you are. Matter of fact, you're no different. You're no different than each and every person in this arena here tonight. You all kiss ass, admit it. Maybe you didn't hear me. I said get on your knees. Now you gotta admit, that's a mighty fine looking ass, isn't it? Matter of fact, that's not just a normal ass. Many of you are saying to yourselves right now, you have a magnificent ass. Oh, man. So with that in mind, all right, go ahead and kiss my magnificent ass. Go ahead. Get closer, you can do it. Do it. Damn it, you kiss my ass now.
That's right. I didn't come up with this. My boy Chuck came up with this. I did not come up with this, but it was hilarious, man, because it seemed like that's what's going on. Everybody trying to kiss Al Sharpton, but thinking that he holds the key to the black vote, and he does not. Matter of fact, a lot of black people are turned off because of Al Sharpton. Don't get me wrong, he go out there and march and everything, and he get result. But let me tell you something. If you're a regular guy on the street that can't bring any media attention, he's not going that route. Whatever case that has media attention, that's who he go campaign for. That's who he go fight for. That's where he go march. But little old brother down the street, or little sister down on the street, or somebody getting murdered over something stupid like gang members and things like that, Al Sharpton nowhere to be found. But he has this organization, and this organization is supposed to be the National Action Network, and the key part of the program, the benefits of this program, is to take the platform and reach out to different aspects of politicians, political leaders, world leaders, and to see what you can do for the black community. Now, have I seen anything of significance of this organization? I know what an organization is at. Matter of fact, tried to do a little business with them for the business I tell you guys about down in Harlem. I think the most high point that they ever had was Michael Jackson talking about how Sony is doing them wrong because he owned the publications to the Beatles and Elvis and everything, and he felt that they're railroading him with these allegations to take what he's on. That's another story. But Al Sharpton went on out, and he literally had just about every candidate out there on the Democratic ticket to go out here and apply for the black vote. Some of them even talk about reparations, and yeah, man, they just pandering. Give me a moment. Let me check something out, okay? No, that's a funny picture, but that was Fat Al Sharpton back in the day, running to get more people to kiss his behind. Let me go over this incredible article. Presidential candidate tried to resonate with black voters at the National Action Network convention. More than a dozen declared and potential presidential candidates are expected to attend the Reverend Al Sharpton annual National Action Network convention to kiss his behind. The first major gathering of the 2020 hopeful, all clearly seeking the support of black civil rights leaders. That's all you're going to get is the support of black civil rights leaders. They do not represent black people, and most black people are not listening to them. Let me be quiet. Sharpton Convention, give me a moment. Sharpton's convention has been a mainstay for politicians, presidential candidates, and presidents alike. For many civil rights leaders, snubbing the conference together is considered a major fox pass. So no, you don't go here, it's going to hurt you with the black vote, I guess. Not no more. That was back in the day. They don't do nothing that much. Get out of here with this stuff. In the nearly 3 decades since the founding of the nonprofit civil rights group, celebrities, civil rights leaders, policymakers, and would-be candidates mix, mingle, and float ideas to see if they will gain support. Now, understand this, people, before I go forward. I myself, I am looking for a candidate that's going to spend quality time in the black community. Not quality time with black leaders or so-called black leaders. I'm talking about real deal, regular Joe people on the streets. I'm looking for the black leaders to open up their facility to allow town halls, to allow round table where the people can come in, and the people in their particular local community, because all black communities are not one. They're different neighborhoods, different sections of neighborhood, East Town, Overtown, all these are different neighborhoods in a city. Like in the Bronx, we got the South Bronx, we got the Pelham area, we got Castle Hill area. We got so many different neighborhoods. These politicians need to be going into these neighborhoods, talking with those leaders in the neighborhood, not some sort of black super leader. That's not going to happen. The days of talking to the Martin Luther Kings are gone. There's no Martin Luther King, and believe me, Al Sharpton is no Martin Luther King. All right, he thinks he is, but he's not. And I mean, I watch his show every now and then, and he has some good points, but come on, we know what he is. He's a Democratic operative, and all he care about is kissing up to the Democratic Party and these Democratic news network-led news networks. All right, so previous attendees of the convention include individuals on both sides of the aisle, ranging from Donald Trump's appearance in 2002. See, Donald Trump appeared in 2000 before he even thought about running for election. You don't want to know why? Because Donald Trump and Al Sharpton has been friends. You want to know why? As my boy Cliff would say on my job, you want to know why? It's because most of the Democrats went to Donald Trump to seek financial assistance. Donald Trump was on the side, on both sides. He was playing both sides with money, trying to get in some way to get some business done. That's why I said, even though he's been cleared of Russian collusion, he do have bad ethics situations, and it's not when he get out of office, if you can successfully get him out of office, he may end up getting end up being indicted once he come out and end up going to jail, because dude is clearly an unethical business person. But he dealt with people like Al Sharpton, the Clintons, and the Bushes, you name it. But he appeared in the convention in 2002 as part of a ribbon-cutting ceremony to Bill Clinton's 2007 appeal on behalf of his wife, Hillary and Barack. Andrea Gillespie, associate professor of political science of Emory University, told ABC News part of the reason why Democratic candidates are reaching out to black voters is that blacks are the most loyal Democratic voting bloc in the United States, and that is changing. African American voters are critical to gaining traction with the largely Democratic voting base. Is expected to compose a 12.5% of the electorate in 2020, according to the Pew Research. In South Carolina, the first primary state in the South, African American make up nearly 30% of the population. Gillespie noted black voters will play a disproportionate role with helping select the Democratic Party nominee for president. They always play a important role, a crucial role, the most important role in the primaries. to get somebody elected. But it's not enough in the general, because the general, he who wins the independent voters, and a lot of them are black, will win the election. Black people went out strong for Hillary Clinton, contrary to what most people think, that black people didn't go out and vote. No, the numbers dropped because black people didn't, you know, no, another Barack is not running. And we knew that Barack Obama was our hope to a better, at least we believe, we were hoodwinked, bamboozled to believe that Barack Obama will really take care of the needs of the black community. But he spit on the face of the black community and said, oh, you know, I'm not the president of just black people. I'm the president of all people. Yeah, but you did all this other stuff for different people in the Democratic Party, the Hispanics, the LGBT, nothing for black community. So this time, when 2016 came, we didn't have a Barack Obama. So yeah, the vote dipped when it came to Hillary Clinton, because most people didn't believe she was Barack Obama 2.0, and most people didn't believe the bull crap. The only people that were loyal to Hillary Clinton is 45 and up. Anybody was under 45, they were not loyal to Hillary Clinton. A lot of them left out of the party and either voted for Trump or voted Green or didn't vote at all. And that's just the bottom line. But still, black votes were still high. It wasn't 98, 99%, but it's about 75%. But let me keep going. I digress. In the South, even though African-American voters make up a small percentage of the electorate in the general election, you hear that? And that's the thing I want people to understand. These candidates really, really got to go out and court the black vote right now. Because if they don't listen to the black community, if they don't spend quality time with the black community, if they don't take out their pen and pad and listen and learn and have somebody to help them do the things that they need to do to get what they need, they don't need somebody assuming that they know better. Like in the case of Bernie Sanders, sometimes he act like he know what's better for America, even for black people. And that's not true. You don't know. And don't act like you know. Sure, you got great policies, but don't act like you know the needs of the black community, because the policies that you have are only a scratch of the surface of the needs of the black community. He who wants to win the general have to meet with the black community, spend quality time, not this crap of having a convention where a bunch of elite black people come attend it, and these people go out and vote. Those not the only people that's going to vote for you, Hoss. Elite black people that goes to Al Sharpton event are not the makeup of America. Black America don't attend those events. They don't even have the money to fly to go to those events. Those are black elite voters, or local voters in New York that had that happen to go to the event and still black elite voters. But regular voters don't have that mindset. You need to go spend time with them and talk to them. Al Sharpton do not represent the black people. He just don't. Like I said, Farrakhan got more footing with the black community than Al Sharpton, because he literally goes out and do things for black people, even though you don't like his philosophy. He actually goes out and do something for black people. Now, let me keep going. Like I said, in the South, even though African-American voters make up a small percentage of the electorate in the general election, well, who make up the major percentage? It's the independents. That's why Bernie Sanders is really scared and tippy-toe about the reparation issue. But, dude, you can't be tiptoeing around that issue, because if the black community begin to grow and their stance become even stronger when it comes to reparation or no black agenda, no vote, and you can't, and I'm going to go over some of these speeches that they made, because I heard Pete Buttigieg trying to talk about the black agenda, and everything he mentioned in the black agenda was not the black agenda. And then I'm going to deal with that. But anyway, Gillespie says black voters make up majority of the Democratic Party voters in the southern state. You need those delegates in order to be able to clinch the nomination. True that. If you don't do a sweep in those areas, believe me, the people that's going to carry the next piece of land over are across America, and most of them are in open primaries. So if you're not getting the black vote and you're not able to get the independents in the open primaries, then you ain't winning. Because the bottom line, the independents are the one that's going to cause you to win the general election. All right, showing up, Gillespie said, is symbolic importance for black voters. So for 2020, candidates targeting black voters is a key. Many candidates have gone on walking tours in African-American communities, visited historic black colleges and universities, addressed African-American sororities and fraternities, and have ties to the civil rights movement. Sure, like Kamala Harris does that, go to black, but you still got to understand, you're going to elite voters, people who are, what about the people who couldn't get into college? Are you going to South Carolina? Are you going to Coleraine, North Carolina? How about, are you going to Petersburg, Virginia? Are you going to Bradenton, Florida? Marietta, Florida? Leesburg, Virginia? Lee County, Florida? Anyway, let me keep going. Those are where the most black people who are not elite, those are people who are going to go out and vote for you. You have to spend time with those people. If you have to go out there and farm with them, shuck peanuts with them, go visit their stores, their establishment that they're built, go spend time in their high schools and in the gyms and not just the colleges, and talk to their parents, you ain't gonna have no shot. Anyway, Gillespie stresses 2020 candidates who attend the NAN and the NAACP and the Urban League Convention this year are attending in efforts to gain traction through relationship building. The summer convents are important, convening the black leaders who have political clout and all candidates to speak directly to influential leaders in their community, she added. One issue 2020 candidate likely will tackle head on is the issue of reparations. A majority of declared 2020 candidates have weighed in on this issue. And at the convention this year, candidates will undoubtedly face questions on this issue. And Sharpton earlier this week vowed that it would be addressed. Let me stop. Sharpton is a charlatan. He's going to address it the way the political leaders tell him how to address it. He ain't going to do it from the hood. He's not going to do it from the guts. He's going to do it from Washington, D.C. mindset. Sharpton, who supports reparations, said he feels that it should be first to be studied to ensure fairness. No, it should not. Stop with this mess. Studying is a delay. People have been studying reparations for 20, 30, 40, 50 years. And the only reason it hasn't been put forward because we don't have nobody who have grabbed that study that already been done. People like Claude Anderson. I mean, come on, people. Sandy Darity. There's so many people that's been studying this, and they actually got the plan to implement it. So stop making excuses talking about we need to study, we need to study. It's been studied. Get with the people who got the implementation, bring it into your platform so you can win this freaking election and beat Donald Trump if you think you can beat Donald Trump. Unfortunately, the two closest black people on the Democratic ticket, even if they did have reparations, they ain't being no. They can win the general, they can win the primary, but they ain't winning no general because, like I said, the independents determine who win the election, not black voters in the general election. Black voters play a major key, but he who wins the independents win the presidency. Now, Sharpton, who supports reparations, said he feels it should be first to be studied to ensure fairness. No, it don't. That is the delay. That is the problem with Sharpton. He's going with this study crap. And all these other political leaders saying, I support Clyburn and all these people. Nah, man, that's a study. We don't need studying. The studying is over with. It's time for you to take your test now. I'm glad it's the presidential conversation. We certainly will be bringing it up this week. And he said on Sunday, I'll bring it up. Sharpton continued urging the conversation to be substantive, calling on the discussion to not only deal with repairing what was done in the past, but continuing an institution of the continued institution of bigotry we see demonstrated every day. Sounds nice. Al Sharpton, but you guys are not the ones that should be leading this effort. Senator Cory Booker, Democrat in New Jersey, where his city is just tore up, who will speak at the National Action Network later this week, held a press conference in Washington, D.C., where he reiterated his support for Representative Jim Clyburn's 10-20-30 plan, an effort the South Carolina congressman said aims to help counties that have poverty over 20% for over 3 decades. Those communities would then be required to receive at least 10% of federal funds from a specific program aimed at those communities. People, that is not reparations. It is not. When asked if it was a form of reparation, Booker, however, declined to comment. He need to decline, because that's not a form of reparation. We don't need a form. A form is something you fill out. we don't need a form. The study's been done. The implementation is ready. Grab a hold of it and do it. Clyburn, however, said the measure is absolutely a form of reparation. We don't need a form. Over the past 2 days at the National Action Network in New York City, 2020 hopefuls have talked about reparations, healthcare, criminal justice reform, and other issues targeting toward black voters. Many in the crowd of several hundred people told ABC News that they were still undecided among the wide field of candidates. It's too early anyway. Denise Hawley, an attendee at this year's NAN convention, told ABC News that she hasn't decided on a candidate. I want to give everyone a chance. Smart lady. She said criminal justice is an important issue for her when choosing who she will support in 2020. Texas native Roy Burns said health care is an important topic. I understand why a lot of our politicians don't believe that every American needs health care compared to other Western countries, he said. Brett also told ABC News that he is thinking of supporting former Representative Beto O'Rourke, who is a native Texan. In New York, some candidates took the opportunity to speak about civil rights past, while others took the time to clarify past comments that raised the eyebrows of African Americans. South Bend, Indiana Mayor Pete Buttigieg threw his support behind Black Lives Matter. He had previously said all lives matter and clarified his remarks. What I didn't understand at the time was the phrase just earlier into the mid, especially 2015, was coming to be viewed as a sort of counter slogan to Black Lives Matter, Buttigieg said, or Buttigieg. After the time, he said he didn't know that the phrase was being used to devalue the Black Lives movement. Now, Fat Al Sharpton running to get people to kiss his behind. All right, so the bottom line is this is supposed to be the first place to reach out to black voters. Now, it's just a house that Al Sharpton built. They get black elite people there so you can pander or so you can make your claim for the black vote. Not understanding that most of those people in that place doesn't make up the demographic of black voters. Number two, our needs are different, and you can't just tell us what you're for. You gotta let us tell you what we want, and then you have to say you're for it. We're not just gonna buy your bull crap, and just because you're in the Democratic Party and just because you're black, we're not buying that. Because it's not about this. We had that. We had a half black, half white president, and that's just what it is, who is not an ADOS. He's not a descendant of American slaves. His wife was from Kansas, his mom was from Kansas, and his daddy was from Africa. So he's not a descendant of a slave. So he wouldn't understand. Now, he may have been a product. I don't even think he was a product of the Jim Crow era, because most of the time, Barack Obama's daddy came down here and he married his white wife. Nothing wrong with that, by the way. I encourage more of that. A lot of people won't listen to me on that. Look, if you love somebody and they love you, look, me personally, I like my black sisters. I love my black sisters. But I've dated some black sisters that just was horrible too. so love is love. And so he couldn't really understand what it's like because he never went through that Jim Crow era. At least I don't believe, because he went from farm town to Indonesia and then back to the United States, to Chicago at that, where he became a community organizer. I don't think Barack Obama ever dealt with racism in the South. Now, his daughters are ADOS because Michelle Obama is an ADOS. Now, I didn't mean to get on this ADOS just you, but the point is, you're coming there, all these politicians, you're coming there to hear the needs from the black community, and you can't hear it from these bougie elite black people and people like Al Sharpton, because he don't know our needs. He rarely comes in our community and spend time with us. He rarely does it. He's right in Harlem. How often do we go and spend time with the community of Harlem? That was the problem with Charlie Rangel. Spent more time in D.C. than in Harlem. And his office was in Harlem. Now, don't get me wrong. He had some programs to help black kids. I mean, Charlie Rangel did have some programs to kind of, you know, encourage kids to go to college, get studies and things like that. So they have their little points. But the bottom line is Al Sharpton do not represent the black community. Most of the black community, 45 and under, I say 50 and under now, are not into Al Sharpton. That's that older crowd that grew up with Fat Al Sharpton. Remember Fat Al Sharpton? You know, Big Al? This guy? That's that the crew who grew up with this guy. Big Al Sharpton with the perm. Him and James Brown had a perm off one day. So most of the community don't dig, they're not into that. And most of the people that's at that National Action Network are majority black, elitists, bourgeoisie, or what some people call boule people. Now, again, I reiterate, you can go to people like him and kiss his ring hoping you get the vote, or kiss his butt to get the vote. You can go to people like Jesse Jackson and kiss his butt to try to get the black people vote. Again, 40, 50 and under people are not following Jesse Jackson. They're not following Al Sharpton. They'll rather follow Nipsey Hussle before they follow this dude. Rest in peace, Nipsey Hussle. Because he was doing for his community out of his own pocket. They'll really listen to a person like that. They listen to people like Tupac, and the artist has got more flavor and more influence than people like Al Sharpton with the black community. That's why these presidential candidates are trying to lean on these artists to join them. You know, Hillary Clinton, her last speech was at a Jay-Z concert with J. Cole and Chance the Rapper. Didn't work out too well, because they can influence the younger generation. So no, if you want to get the black vote politicians, you got to bypass these charlatans, I call them, and go to your local community. Go to the churches that really, really are churches. I'm not talking about these charlatan preachers. Go to real churches and talk with those people, hold round tables, hold forums, hold town hall, have your pen and paper ready, and listen to the community. If you want their vote, you're going to have to listen to them, let them talk to you. You have to take notes. You got to figure out whatever need they have. Don't you blow it off. Don't you just say no, because you're going to lose them fast, because they're really serious about this. If you don't have an agenda to take care of my community before you get elected in this primary now, you got some time. Do it faster now than later. If you don't have an agenda, a concrete agenda, one which includes true reparations, I'm sorry, people, you don't like that, of different colors, you don't like that, then you just got to deal with it. Okay? Either you're going to get on the side of it, again, get on the side against it. Getting on the side against it will not get your person elected in the Democratic Party. You need to motivate that person to not blow it off and get with the people who already studied it and already got a plan to implement it. And there is a plan to implement it because it's been studied. Don't let them fool you. Nobody can come up to an agreement. No, there's an agreement. There's a plan. It's been studied, and there's a plan to implement. They have it. That's a lie. They're trying to fool you. That's a lie. Get with them people. because the black vote will be heard, because you're not going to use them this year like you've been doing forever. They are very serious. And just like you said, if you're not for Medicare for all, if you're not for health care, if you're not for education, no vote. They the same way. If you don't have a black agenda, and if you don't have a concrete plan to implement reparations, don't forget that study stuff, then you're not going to get my vote. And I'm telling you, my family of human beings, black, white, Asian, it doesn't matter, in the Democratic primaries, if you don't lock in that black vote, your chance of winning is slim to none. He who locks in the black vote will win the primary. Now, like I said, and like the news reporter said, in the general, it's a different direction. You still want to lock in that black vote. You don't fool them. You don't, do a gotcha on it. You really mean that you're going to take care of the community. But you got to understand, he who wins the independents in the general win the election. You can get 98 to 97% of the vote and still lose. That's what happened to Stacey Abrams, because she allowed him to rig the election. But even then, 90 barely losing or losing, we can't have that. Barely losing or losing, we can't have that. I'm saying that as an independent. That's what happened in Alabama. That's what happened in Virginia. That's what happened in Florida with Andrew Gillum, and that's what happened to Stacey Abrams. The black vote is not enough in the general. In the primaries, yes, it'll get you over. But candidates, you got to understand, this is where it starts. First base is winning that primary, and you're not going to win it without taking care of the needs of the black people. So you can go to all these events all you want. Black votes, real black people, 50 and under, could care less about these events like that, because they don't represent real black people. They represent some, but they haven't been connected with the community of black people for a long time. National Action Network, Rainbow Coalition, I don't hear nothing on TV or on Facebook or anything about these organizations going in the community, doing book drives, coat drives, job opportunities, none of that. Now, they may do it, but it's not a consistent thing. Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, you need to do more for your community before you ask them, presidential candidates, to do more for your community. I'm from the community, presidential candidate. You want to win this election? You know what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to stop thinking you know everything. Spend time with the black community, quality time. Listen and learn and do. I'm Rob Brown with the Rob Report. I'll let you later.